I've told you most of this, but some of it I might not have. So as a college counselor, I visit colleges all around the country and I'm recommending schools to my students. And I love the Midwest schools. I just do. I love Ohio State, Indiana, Notre Dame. Like I just love them. And I love the football and everything. So, you know, I had decided, it was in 2024, April, I think. I said to Tim, my husband, I said, okay, this year we're going to go to a game at Ohio State and we're going to go to a game at Notre Dame. And I grabbed the tickets. Yeah. And so we planned that. And then, you know, it's not till the fall. Well, all of a sudden, my Instagram just starts showing all these reels, probably around August, September. They're just popping up because of the algorithm. And I'm seeing like all these football players at Ohio State sharing their testimony, sharing the gospel right in the middle of campus, baptizing kids in a pool. And I'm like, what is happening at Ohio State? I'm like, this is one of the biggest public schools in the country. It's public. Yeah. I'm like, this is right where the dorms are. Like, this, what is going on? So I started looking into this revival that was occurring, being led by the football team at OSU. And then it led me to the Access the Walk podcast. And then I started listening to some of the testimonies. And I was so drawn to your story. Yeah. Because you shared about overcoming darkness. You shared a lot about things that I would equate to spiritual warfare, which is an interest in my life. It's I've been involved with that for a long time, with helping people become set free from that. Yes. And so I was so drawn to your story. So I kept following it and I was super excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, and we're going to Ohio State. We're going to one of the football games. Yeah. So we went out to OSU. You scored a touchdown. I was cheering for all you guys. And I just felt like, wow, I already knew, you know, I knew so much about your story and G's story and Emeka, like so many of you guys. It was so inspiring. And so I said to my husband, it was like the night before the draft, and I was like, you know, and we had watched your Path to the Draft video, which was amazing, by the way. It was a wonderful story. And I said, I just know when God draws me to something, there's always a reason. And I said, I'm so drawn to Ohio State. Look at it. And then they won the national championship. I mean, what a run. I'm saying I'm so drawn to TreVeyon. I'm like, I have no idea what it is, but I just know when God puts something in my heart, there's always a reason. And it never even crossed my mind that you would get drafted by the Patriots. I was praying for all of you guys who are involved in like the Buckeye revival. Yeah. I was just praying that God would have you go where you could be the brightest light. Mm-hmm. And it just like, I never once prayed that you'd come to the Patriots, or anyone would. I just was praying for that to be the light in the darkness. And on, you know, I stayed in, I watched the first night of the draft and the second night of the draft, and all of a sudden the Patriots are up and they draft you. Yeah. And I screamed so loud. I could not believe, and I was like, oh my goodness, like the amount of things that had to happen for that. And I don't even think you had a clue, like the Patriots, right? Because we've talked about that. Yeah. So when that happened, it was like a few weeks later, I found out you were going to be the guest speaker at the Duxbury High School revival. Now, you didn't know this, but 2 years prior, I had become like a silent sponsor of that, like a financial backer of that club, because a lot of my students go to Duxbury, and the high school wasn't giving them any money because it was a religious-based club. Yeah. So, you know, they'll fund anything else, but they wouldn't fund that. So I had said, let me know what you guys need. So I had started just helping them in just various ways. So being involved in the revival, I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is an event I'm helping to sponsor. Yeah. Trey's coming to speak. This is wild. Yeah. And then we connected at the event, and then you were sharing your story, and I was just like, this so lines up with Gripped. And then realizing like, oh my goodness, everything you could possibly share, like how can we collaborate? But it's like, it all started 2 years prior when I sponsored that Bible club. Like God just brought it all together. Then we found out that like Gabriel, like I had already been mentoring Gabriel's mom on her book, and like I'm in touch with Gabriel, and then he was like a mentor to you in Columbus and a pastor, and I was like, this is wild. Like it was like God he was like knitting all of this together for us, like in such strange, cool ways, and then now the outcome is your stories and the forward of my book. So it's amazing.
Come on, praise God.
Yeah.